Hi, friends. Today I'm sharing a new story with you. I hope you enjoy it. I always thought family meant trust, that the people who raised you would never lie in a way that breaks your heart. But that changed one evening as I sat in front of my laptop. My hands were shaking. A bank alert popped up when I normally ignored. But this time I opened it. My stomach turned. It showed a $5,000 transfer labeled Emergency Fund, Parents. 2 months ago, my mom had called me. Her voice was shaky. "The house needs serious repairs," she said. "The plumbing and roof are falling apart. We're really struggling, Connor." I believed her and sent the money right away. I didn't ask questions. But now, I was staring at a post on social media that changed everything. There was my sister Charlotte, smiling on a fancy cruise ship, drink in hand, ocean behind her. Family bonding on the high seas. First class all the way. I froze. Family bonding? They never even invited me. I quickly checked my mom's page. More pictures. Fancy dinners, spa days, sparkling jewelry. They had used my money for this. I kept scrolling, heart sinking. There were more posts, weekend trips, expensive meals, luxury gifts. They had been using me for years. A sudden knock at my door made me jump. "Connor?" It was Elia, my girlfriend. She walked in and looked at me closely. "What's wrong?" I could barely speak. "My parents lied." She didn't look surprised. She sighed like she already knew. "They used the money," I said. "The money I sent to fix their house. They spent it on a cruise. With Charlotte." Elia's face hardened. "Connor, you've given them too much for too long." I gave a dry laugh. I thought I was helping. I really thought. My voice broke. She held my hand. "You always put them first. But have they ever done the same for you?" I stayed quiet. Because deep down, I already knew the answer. Still, I needed to be sure. Part of me was hoping there was another explanation. I called Mrs. Hendrick, our old neighbor. She picked up quickly, sounding cheerful. "Connor, what a nice surprise." I tried to sound normal. "Hi, Mrs. Hendrick. Have my parents done any work on the house recently?" There was a pause. "Oh no, dear. The house looks the same. But I did see them leave with big suitcases last month. They said it was the trip of a lifetime." I gripped the phone tighter. So it was true. I ended the call. Elia held my hand. "What are you going to do?" she asked. I set my jaw. "I'm going to confront them." The next morning, I sat at my desk, going through years of bank transfers, texts, and receipts. The truth had always been there. The favoritism. The quiet lies. I just didn't want to see it. Charlotte, my sister, was always the favorite. When I won awards or worked hard, my parents said, "Good job," but nothing more. But when Charlotte made mistakes, they defended her. She crashed her first car. Dad bought her another. She failed college classes. Mom blamed the teachers. "I got a scholarship." "That's nice, dear," was all they said. Now I saw it clearly. It wasn't just about feelings anymore. It was about money. "She's their investment," Elia said as she watched me scroll. "And you're just their bank." I let out a breath. And I let them do it. I found more proof in old messages. "Mom, a year ago. Can you help with Charlotte's student loans? She's overwhelmed." "Dad, 6 months ago. Your sister needs help with rent." But Charlotte wasn't struggling. She lived in a luxury penthouse. I paid for my modest apartment. She lived in comfort, thanks to me. A week later, after their cruise, I got a text from Charlotte. "Did you seriously call Mrs. Hendrick about the house? So dramatic. Get over it." Then another. "If you're upset about the cruise, that's on you. If you weren't such a buzzkill, maybe they would have invited you." My hands clenched. Unbelievable. Elia looked over at the screen. She's not even hiding it. I picked up my phone. "That's it. I'm confronting them." Elia stood. "I'm coming with you." I nodded. I needed her. As we drove to my parents' house, memories came rushing back. Forgotten birthdays, missing money, Charlotte always getting her way. I gripped the steering wheel tighter. Today it ends. Inside the house, it smelled like expensive candles and fresh coffee, fake comfort. It had never felt warm here. Mom sat at the table reading a shiny magazine. Dad relaxed on the couch like a king. Charlotte scrolled on her phone, not even looking at me when I walked in. I didn't wait. Enjoy the cruise? I asked, my voice sharp. Mom looked up with fake surprise. Oh, Connor, you should have called.
Dad didn't look at me.
What's with the attitude? I stepped closer, heart racing. You lied. You said you needed money for house repairs, but you used it for a fancy vacation. Charlotte rolled her eyes. Oh, please. Stop acting like a victim. I turned to her. You knew about it, didn't you? She smiled smugly. Of course. But so what? You're doing fine. You didn't need the money. I laughed without humor. That's the problem. Because I'm fine, I have to pay for everything while you live like a queen. Mom sighed. Connor, don't be so dramatic. We just wanted a little fun. You wouldn't have enjoyed the cruise anyway. That stung. Like I didn't belong unless they needed money. Elia crossed her arms beside me. You used him. And you're not even sorry. Dad finally looked over, angry. Watch your tone, young lady. I stayed calm. This was my moment. You're right about one thing, Mom, I said. I'm done being dramatic. And I'm done being your bank. I opened my phone. With a few taps, I stopped every payment I was making for them. The mortgage help. Charlotte's rent. The extra money I sent just in case. Mom gasped.
Connor, no.
You can't do that. Dad jumped up from the couch. We're your parents. And I'm your son, I said, calm but firm. Not your A-team. Charlotte's smug look faded. You're overreacting. I turned to leave.
No.
For the first time, I'm doing what's fair for me. And I walked out, leaving their silence behind. Just after sunset, the knocking started. I knew it would. I opened the door to see all three of them, Mom, Dad, and Charlotte standing there. They looked desperate. Mom's eyes were red. She held onto the doorframe like she was afraid I'd close the door on her. Dad looked angry. Charlotte had her arms crossed, pretending not to care. Connor, please, Mom said softly. We need to talk. I didn't move. We already did. Dad stepped forward, voice sharp. You can't just cut us off. We're your family. I laughed a little. You didn't remember that when you lied to me. Charlotte rolled her eyes. God, Connor, stop acting like a victim. You're just trying to punish us. Elia appeared beside me, standing strong. He's setting boundaries, she said. Something you clearly don't respect. Mom reached out, trying to take my hand. But your father's health. I pulled away. Don't try to guilt me. You didn't think about my health when you were spending my money on vacations. There was silence. Then I spoke clearly. I'm done. No more money. No more control. You made your choices. Now live with them. Dad's face twisted in anger. You'll regret this. Maybe, I said. But at least it's my decision. And I shut the door. Weeks passed. Nothing. Then one day, an envelope slid under my door. No return address, just my name, written in Mom's neat handwriting. I opened it slowly. Inside was a letter, full of guilt and pressure. We raised you. We gave you everything. Family forgives. Send money. Your father's health is getting worse. I sighed. Same words. Same tactics. That night, Charlotte called. I didn't answer. She left a voicemail. Congrats. You've abandoned your family. Have fun with Elia until she figures out what a selfish loser you are. Elia sat next to me, picked up my phone, and deleted the message without saying a word. She didn't have to. I already knew what I needed to do. The next morning, I changed my number, blocked them everywhere, and made sure there was no way for them to reach me again. For the first time, I felt free. Months later, Elia and I stood side by side at our wedding. I felt peace. No guilt. No regrets. Just a future where I finally came first. Friends, what did you think of this story? Tell us your thoughts in the comments. Want more stories like this? Subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out. See you tomorrow.